Pag-umasin ko yun. Kung ano yung sa natin, makalit. Tawasan ka rin ako. Kumasin.
Picture mo ng bata mo.
Okay. Ano, 7, ano, kapit ako. 70, Dennis.
Picture mo muna.
This is the
Ayaw na naman ako.
Ayaw mo na naman.
Ayaw na naman mag-contact niya po. Mamamatapos
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends and colleagues here at Kapihan sa Manila Bay. We are starting a bit late because, as usual, the traffic is back after a long weekend, and I certainly hope that the other can later join us because they are stuck in the traffic. Anyway, good morning to all of you, and today we are having a sort of a observance because this is exactly more than 1 year and 1 month ago when the previous Congress passed into law what is called for short as the vape law, but it's actually the vaporized nicotine and devices that are now being sold under strict government regulations. After all, there are other laws to burn it, cigarette smoking, and there are still coming up new laws that are now trying to curb or the harm reduction, tobacco harm reduction mechanism and other schemes. And today we are sort of going to have a review of how effective these laws have been. And we have one of the co-authors of the vape law that we are now that is now being implemented, but unfortunately this is handled a different agency than the Department of Health. Let me introduce to all of you because she was part of previously of Congress, but previous Congress, and she's now the Undersecretary of the Department of Energy, and she's now Undersecretary Sharon Garrett. Good morning, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Direct lang, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you. Just before we start, I am here as former member of Congress, not as a representative of the Department of Energy. Kasi ibang topic.
Mamaya yun later.
It's more of my narrative on what was the logic and the rationale behind the law that was passed.
Yeah. But later on, we will ask you because sige, tayo po po lang sila. Thank you to that I talked to you about the energy
No
management.
problem. Thank you.
And besides her is the president, very young president, here in the Philippines. Don't mistake him for an American because he's from Lithuania. but his surname is of Moroccan, Turkish origin. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of Philip Morris Fortune Tobacco Corp. Incorporated President, Dennis Gorgon. Good morning, sir.
Magandang umaga po. Magandang umaga, Marichu. Great honor to be here. Thank you for having me on Kapihan sa Manila Bay. It's a great pleasure to be here. Also, it's a great honor to share this Kapihan sa Manila Bay with Yusek Sharon. Yes, really happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Okay, to start off our conversations, because Kapihan sa Manila Bay for the past 8 years has hosted also a lot of debates on the pros and cons of the latest technology on tobacco harm reduction devices. And I knew for a fact that it has been a struggle for this industry amid the smoking ban, the cigarette laws, the various tobacco laws that have been passed. So I would like to get from the point of view of Dennis Gorgon on how the industry finally provide and now very one of the favored and one of the most popular devices that you now have in the malls, the IQOS, the e-cigarette device that you are now producing. Sir.
Thank you very much, Marichu. We'll be very happy to share our experience with the new law. But before that, I guess I'll try to say the company, a few words about the company I represent for your audiences, where I'm coming from, right? What do we do? Philip Morris has been around for more than 160 years. We're not a new company. We are known by our best-selling brands to your audiences, such as Marlboro, the world's #1 cigarette brand, Chesterfield, our popular brand, and also our local brand, Fortune here. Our company in Philippines is called PMFTC Inc. Right? It's a business combination between Philip Morris and Lucio Tan Group, which was concluded about a decade ago. And it's an international tobacco company here in the Philippines, working on delivering a smoke-free future. PMFTC is a provider of stable employment. It's an employer of choice, certified as a top employer 3 years running here in the Philippines. We support communities. We're a steady source for government revenue. And we're a top lease buyer, a top taxpayer, and of course, a partner to law enforcement agencies in the campaign against non-compliant, non-tax-paid products, which we'll maybe touch upon today. But like many other companies, we are going through a long transformation. We are in fact disrupting our own core business, which is selling cigarettes. Our company has adopted a bold new vision to deliver a smoke-free future. Smoke-free future consisting of adult smokers who do not quit for whatever reason, encouraging these smokers to switch to better smoke-free alternatives, right? And what are they, right? We all know the negative effects of cigarette smoking. Those effects have been long established. It is well known that in the interest of one's health, one should never start to smoke. If one already smokes, the best thing is to quit completely. But the fact remains the fact that about 1 billion people in the world, despite all the knowledge that they have about the effects of smoking, despite all the health warnings, all the discouragement, that 1 billion people still continue to smoke. And that number is 16 million smokers in the Philippines. They continue to smoke. They are aware of negative effects. At the same time, the smokers are encouraged to quit. Those adults who do not quit. So those people who do not quit, they deserve pragmatic and sensible solutions that can help them to make a better choice than continuing to smoke cigarettes. We in our company are guided by a basic principle we call unsmoke, and it goes as follows. If you don't smoke, better not to start. If you smoke, it's best to quit. If you don't quit, change to better smoking alternatives. Science has been quite clear here, and the more time passes, the more government agencies, health regulating agencies around the world over, agree with that science. Science tells us that combustion, the burning process of tobacco, the way tobacco is consumed, traditionally through lighting it up on fire in a cigarette, is the main problem. It's not nicotine in generating smoking-related disease. It's a burning. So, and anybody can understand that whenever you light something on fire, it creates a chemical process of combustion that generates in itself. For example, in a cigarette, it generates 6,000 new chemicals just because it burns. It generates 6,000 chemicals, and about 100 of those chemicals are extremely toxic and cancer-causing. While nicotine is just one part of this whole process, just one element, right? It's not, nicotine is not entirely risk-free and it's not addictive, but it's actually not the primary cause of the smoking-related disease. Today, much better alternatives to delivering nicotine instead of cigarettes. There are many alternatives that exist today, thanks to technology, that deliver nicotine in a much less impactful way to one's health than smoking cigarettes. These are the alternatives that do not have combustion, burning of tobacco as part of the process. Therefore, they don't have smoke, they don't have ash, and what they produce is a vapor, right? The very important thing, and perhaps one of the most important things in this narrative, in this debate, is that there is a growing body of scientific evidence around the world from reputable international public health agencies. This evidence has shown that smoke-free alternatives produce 90 to 95% less toxic chemicals. Overwhelming scientific evidence that the content of what comes out of these new alternatives is 90 to 95% less toxic in quantity. For example, such regulatory agencies around the world as UK Health Security Agency, the agency that used to be known before as Public Health England, German Cancer Research Center, Netherlands National Institute for Public Health, Japan National Institute of Health, all conclude the same, that all these alternatives have much less, 90 to 95% less toxic chemicals because they don't burn tobacco. We and the company will have a vision of replacing cigarettes with scientifically substantiated, better products for those adult smokers who end up not quitting. For example, IQOS is our flagship heated tobacco product. It heats tobacco. Many people know, many of you know it looks like this. It exists in Philippines, right? It heats tobacco instead of burning it. As a process of this heating of tobacco at a much lower temperature than burning, significantly lower temperature, it releases nicotine. Nicotine that is contained in its aerosol that it releases without burning tobacco. There is no ash, there is no smoke produced by IQOS. And IQOS, of course, is a very popular brand around the world. 27 million people around the world are using IQOS. And 19.4, almost 20 million people have quit completely the cigarettes, completely, and are using IQOS today the world over. The last point on IQOS is that the incredible thing is that, incredible to some, that IQOS was recognized by one of the biggest regulatory agencies in the world, United States Food and Drug Administration, as a fundamentally different from cigarettes because there is no combustion. So after 2-year review, thorough review of Philip Morris's submission of about 1 million pages of scientific data, United States FDA has concluded that it's a fundamentally different product from cigarettes. It concluded that IQOS heats tobacco and does not burn it, and it authorized IQOS to be marketed in the US as deemed appropriate authorized and stated by United States Food and Drug Administration, and is expected to benefit the health of a population as a whole in that market, in the United States market. Right? Now, how does that bridge to our reality here in Philippines, our vape law, right? Vape law has been described as a landmark legislation and a victory for public health here in Philippines. International public health experts have hailed Philippine law as among the first in the world to recognize the principle of tobacco harm reduction. Tobacco harm reduction to end smoking, as a tool to end smoking. What is tobacco harm reduction? Tobacco harm reduction is a health approach, it's a public health approach, which encourages smokers who do not quit to switch to alternative tobacco products in order to reduce significantly the negative impacts on their health if they continue to use tobacco and nicotine, right? That's what tobacco harm reduction is, right? Of course, the law provides, the important thing that law does is that provides legal age smokers information and access about those smoke-free alternatives. It exists to safeguard the welfare of minors, consumers, legitimate retailers, and the entire supply chain. So, Manchu, thank you again for this opportunity. I'll be happy to provide any insights I can about these subjects that I just discussed. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll ask you later, but I will ask our co-author of the vape law, because Dennis here has just mentioned the Philippine law, the vape law was hailed as one of the best law on tobacco harm reduction and as a tool of to end smoking and promote public health population.
It's called RA 11900 or the VMP. And then yung coverage nila is vaporized nicotine and non-nicotine products. There are two types, no? Yung IQOS type, and then meron din yung vape na very popular among the young ones. So, the question is why, bakit pa kailangan ng batas na ito? I think the most important is the regulatory on the protecting the minors law. Pero I'll go for the easier one first. Bakit siya kailangan? Kasi kung wala kang regulation, doesn't mean na it's prohibited. If you want to prohibit, then you have to pass a law that that product is not prohibited. Pero kung wala, di free for all yan. Now, if it's free for all and you don't regulate, anybody can buy. Kahit anak mo, utusan mo pumunta ng store, bili ka nga muna doon ng IQOS, it will be allowed. So we have to regulate. The danger was, bakit ba regulate at why some people didn't want to regulate? Because ang impression nila that we are allowing. But it's better than not regulating. Now, these companies cannot sell near schools, use children to market, or even artista. Bawal. Because it's appealing to the youth. Now, what's the advantage of regulation? Diba, you cannot tax something that you don't regulate anyway. Hindi kikita yung gobyerno yan. So, by regulating it, it gave the government the power to tax the product. I'm not sure if that is what is the amount now kasi medyo puro na lang ako solar energy at ano iniisip ko ngayon. But I don't know how much the revenues of the government is now. Pero that's substantial because I think 75% of the 75%, if I'm not mistaken, goes to PhilHealth pa eh. Naka-earmark yan eh.
Okay.
So there's so much advantage to the government and the public. So one is the revenues for the government and regulation. And second, pag nag-regulate ka, then you can define how you use the products. Whether it's IQOS or vape siya. Dalawang, kasi, can I borrow one of your devices na? Ayun. So, ito kasi yung ini-intake mo, di ba? Pero may device ka. Kasama ka. Nahati siya ang regulation. If this has, kung yung tobacco, yung stick niya, yung bala niya, kung may matawag mo doon, health claims, right? If it has health claims, ang FDA doon pa rin. Pero hindi naman na expertise ng FDA yung mga, etong mga devices na to. So sa DTI siya. So medyo nahati yung regulation nila, which makes sense. No? And then, ang importante doon is the mindset ng ni-regulator. Hindi siya na to encourage people to take take that up the habit. Ang gusto dito is to